It's week 2 of the NFL preseason, where depth charts and playbooks will be put to the test. It's the Bengals and the Falcons next on Madden NFL 24.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. But tonight we've got a preseason matchup as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does. And you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway here on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Falcons ready to go to work here on offense, and at the helm in his second season, Charles, it's Desmond Ridder.
The Falcons got their feet wet with Ridder during a 4-game audition last season, and he did end their year with a pair of wins. Optimism reigns that he is their quarterback of the future.
Let's go now.
Now the first running back taken back in April, the former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Ridder now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. So, Charles, this defense in for a tough matchup. What do you think the game plan is here tonight?
Well, I think the game plan is the same as most, which is, hey, pass rushers, do your job. Coverage guys, do your job. And the linebackers are going to be a mix. Sometimes they'll drop in coverage, sometimes they'll pressure the quarterback. But all in all, you never want to let that quarterback get a string of completions going, because if so, they're hard to deal with, and it makes for a long evening. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but
Ridder cannot escape, and they bring him down. Logan Wilson coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals now set for their first possession, and it's Pro Bowler Joe Burrow who leads this offense in his 4th season now out of LSU.
Burrow may be young in his career, but he's helming the Bengals to one of the best stretches they've ever seen. 12 wins last year, which matched the team record, and they made the conference championship game in back-to-back seasons for the first time ever. At the center of it all is the man they call Joey B. 35 touchdown pass.
Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Ritter to throw it. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Dancing to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. Inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins, 75 yards. And the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. But the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Meanwhile, Ritter's throw taken in by London. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, the defenses look to be ready for the regular season. Maybe not the offenses just yet, but still a half to go as we get you back out to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Now it's the backup Simeon. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. On second down, a run with Patterson. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D.
Brings up 3rd down and 6. That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Bengals 7, Falcons 2.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. On 3rd down, Heineke. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Let's go, baby.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Now Heineke on 4th down. Open man is hard. It's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give him a new set of downs. And he'll get it down this time in the 17.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw, and it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He's going to get it again, just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Bengals first down, and it's celebration time on that sideline, and they've earned it. And remember, no overtime here in preseason. This offense hoping that's a moot issue as they try to finish this one off. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, trying to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.